So welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to forage for elderflowers and also how to make a really fantastic elderflower cordial. If you've not already subscribed to my channel, if you could please do so, because you'll get lots of helpful hints and tips all throughout the year from my home garden, my allotment, and also my home kitchen, and also the odd foraging event like this. Now for me, I find it a really exciting time. I love things that you can make with elderflower. You can make cordial, you could make fizz. You can also make a really tasty Turkish delight. You could make a jelly. There's lots and lots of lovely things you could be making. So one really important thing is you must know what you're looking for. I do recommend getting a really good reference book. This hedgerow one from River Cottage is absolutely fantastic, and I will put a link in the description if you wanted to get one. Another good thing to do is to go on a foraging course, because they're the kind of skills that once you've learnt them, you've got them for life. I've been on a few and they're well worth going, so I can forage for lots of things, and I can pick with confidence basically, and I know I'm picking sustainably because also they educate you with that as well. So we're looking at the elderflowers here. Now I'm going to show you what I would personally pick and what I wouldn't pick. So the things I wouldn't pick would be these ones here where they've started to die off, because they won't have such good flavour. What I wouldn't pick as well is ones that haven't come out properly, like here. If you can see, the buds haven't popped out. So what you're looking for are ones like that. So they've pretty much all come out. You're going to get the odd ones that haven't, and there's none that are dying off. What I would look out for is you do get a little bit of black fly, so I will lift them up and I'll try and make sure I pick ones that haven't got too much black fly. You're going to get a little bit, and you just have to do the best you can and rub it off or shake it off, but I'll be going for some that I can already see that don't have lots of black fly on them. So, and the way you identify elderflower, so the flowers come from late May to early July, all depending where you are in the country. They are these lovely umbrella shaped sprays. Can you see? Let's do one without black fly on it. Like umbrella shaped sprays of flowers, and also the leaves are pointed and they're formed in 2 or 3, can you see, off that stalk? So either 2 or 3 opposite leaves with one leaf at the end, like so. So that's how you identify it. So all that's left for me now is just to pick some. Now for the cordial I need 20 sprays. So like I said, I'm going to pick off ones that are haven't got any black fly on them. That's absolutely fine. There's no dead ones on that. So that's what we're looking for. So don't forget to bring a bag with you to pop them in your bag. So if the sprays are a little bit small, then pick 2. So when I say 20 decent sized ones. So if you get to where you are and you're picking them and the sprays aren't big enough, then pick 2. Just use your common sense. I like it really lovely and elderflowery, so I will pick generously. So, and sometimes it's really easy to get pollen in your face when you snap them off. Oh, they're really black fly. We'll leave those. That's really, we've got quite a lot of black fly here in Kent. And it does all depend also how elderflowery you want it as well. So that's another thing to bear in mind. I like a good flavour in mine, so I'll pick quite a few. And you can always, when you get home, just pick the best ones that you need. But obviously with anything like this, with sensible foraging, don't pick more than you need. So do try and keep a bit of an eye on how many you've picked. Oh, it's got quite a lot of black fly on it again. So let's move around. So we're really lucky, we've got lots and lots of elderflower in Kent. Very, very fortunate indeed. So I am very fortunate. The other thing is, generally don't pick too close to the ground, because a dog might have sprayed up it as well. So that's another top tip. You might get an odd bit of black fly, but as I said, if you've got a little tiny bit, you just rub it off with your fingers, and it goes. So if it's got lots and lots on it, it might be a bit too fiddly to get it off. And again, that one's not got too much on it. So just take it off. When you get them home, you do cut them off the stalks anyway, so a little bit of black fly isn't too much of a problem. So I've picked all the elderflowers that I need to make my cordial, and now I'm heading off home to start making it. So I'm now going to take you through the process of making the cordial. It's incredibly simple, but there are some really important things to remember and some really big top tips. Now, the things you're going to need 1.5 litres of boiling water, a kilo of sugar, So 20 elderflower heads. I have my elderflowers over here in my bag where I foraged them. So I have my 20 elderflower heads. I need 4 lemons there, and I need 55 grams of citric acid, which I've already weighed out. Other things you will need, equipment, you will need a board, you will need a zester and a knife. You will also need a sieve and a funnel, and another really handy thing to have is obviously the things that you're going to put the cordial in at the end of this. What I do is I make 1 big bottle to put in the fridge to drink now, because it does keep for quite a few weeks. But what I have left over, I reuse old plastic bottles and then I freeze them, because I find it keeps a lot better. I've tried putting them in glass bottles and then trying to preserve them, but I found that the nice elderflower flavour is lost, and if you freeze it in bottles like this, it works really, really well. So you've got to make sure you've got enough bottles to take the amount of liquid and sugar that you've put into it. So the first thing we need to do is we need to boil a kettle, which I've done, and we need to add the sugar. So what you do is you pour the boiling water onto the sugar. Now you need exactly 1 kilo, and the really handy thing about bags of sugar is they come in 1 kilo. So I'm going to pour that straight into a bowl. So you could use a large saucepan, basically any large bowl you've got. This is the biggest bowl I've got, so I always use this one. So 1 kilo of sugar into the bowl, and then you want 1.5 litres. So I've got this really handy jug, so I just need 1.5 of these. There we go, and then another half of the jug. There we go. So 1.5 litres into the bowl. Now this is a really, really, really important bit, is you now stir it like so to dissolve the sugar. Like that, so leave to cool, stirring every now and again. So one of the really, really important things that you must do, you must not add any of the other ingredients until this has cooled down. If you start adding the elderflower now, it'll have a kind of like horrible damp taste. So what you've got to do now is mix it together, leave it to cool down. Now you can cover it with a tea towel, or anything you've got. I like these little pop-up food covers, so I'm going to leave this, stir it every half hour or so, and wait until it's at room temperature. So the water has completely cooled down and the sugar is dissolved in there. I've put the citric acid in. I've just started zesting all the lemons. I've got 4 lemons here, so really good to get one of these zesters. It's much better than grating it in. I find that it's far more effective in getting all the leminess off of the rind. So once I've zested them, I will then slice them up and put the lemons into the mixture. So nice and easy. It's a very simple recipe, but very, very effective. It's just a bit of prep with all the slicing. So there we go. Any extra lemon that's on the chopping board, I always pour it into the bowl. You don't want to lose out on any of the zestiness. This is probably the most fiddliest bit, slicing the lemons. There we go, almost done. There we go, that's in. Like I said, don't waste any of that lovely lemon juice. That's all in. So all we need to do now is just put the elderflower heads in. So you could just flick them off with a fork, but personally I prefer just to use a pair of scissors. You want to avoid getting some of the stalk in, because some people say it's a little bit bitter, but I wouldn't worry too much, and paying a bit of attention if you've got a little bit of black fly. You're going to strain the mixture anyway, so if you have the odd black fly in there, it's not going to cause you any real detriment, but just try and avoid them if you can. I tried my best to pick ones which didn't have too much black fly in them, but we seem to have quite a bit this year. So just snip them into the mixture, like so. So all 20 flower heads are in there, so we just give it a little bit of a stir, just to submerge all the elderflowers. And by this time, in fact, as soon as you bring the elderflowers home, the fragrance of elderflower is all over the home. You can almost taste the elderflower cordial before you've even made it. So as you can see, it's all submerged. So we give it a really good stir, just to make sure all those ingredients are all mixed together really well. And then we just put the cover over and we leave it for 48 hours. So the house is full of the aroma of elderflower and lemons. It's been 2 days since I left this to infuse. So all that's left now is to show you how you bottle it up. So if I take the cover off. Now there's no easy way of getting all this out of here. I usually just get a pair of rubber gloves and just scoop most of it out and have a bowl at the ready very close by. It's by far the easiest way of getting the majority out of it. There we go, that's most of it out. You won't get it all out like that, but that is by far the easiest way. Just to warn you, it is very, very sticky, so it's worth you know, thinking about that wherever you touch afterwards to give it a really good wash. Now, what I do is I will strain it into this jug bit by bit. So I've sterilised all my bottles, so I have 4 small bottles which I'm going to pop in the freezer and get out as and when I need it, and then I've got 1 bottle that I will have to put in my fridge now. So what I do is I've sterilised all my equipment. I've got my big jug which I will put a sieve over, and also get a piece of linen, a piece of muslin, something to strain it through, because as you can see there's lots of bits in there which you don't want in your end infusion. And then with a smaller jug, just scoop it up like so. If you've got any large bits, just take them out and then just pour it into the jug, just to take all those bits out. Now, all depending how bothered you are about bits in your elderflower, you can strain it once or twice. I'll be honest, I'm not that bothered. You can always pour it with a tea strainer if there was a few bits that came through. So let's just pour that through. So I will be putting the full recipe in the description, so you can make this if you want to. We will also put on the screen the recipe for elderflower fizz, should you want to make something a little bit alcoholic for the summer months coming up. So there we go, that, fold that in and then take that off, and that's all lovely and strained. And just rest that on there like so. And then all that's left now is just to fill the bottles up. Really, really simple. So it couldn't be much easier, could it really? So I've done more bottles than I think I need. It's better to have more clean and sterilised than not have enough, in my opinion. The last thing you want is to get to the end and then not have enough clean bottles to put your lovely elderflower cordial in. Like I said, the plastic ones will go in the freezer, so allow a little bit of room for expansion. And the glass one will just go in the door of my fridge, and I will drink that one straight away. So just gently pour that in. Like I say, leave a little bit of room for expansion because it's going to go in the freezer. Last thing you want is for the bottle to crack because you put too much in there. Like so. So everything has all been bottled up. So all that's left to do now is to try a little bit. Now this is really lovely just with water, or you could add some sparkling water, or you could use it as a mixer with other things. You could put gin or vodka with it. So cheers. I hope you enjoy making your elderflower cordial.